Hello. Welcome, welcome. Finally here. Finally here. I was supposed to go live Friday. And that's when I started feeling sick, I think. And then Saturday, still too sick. Anyway, here I am. Finally feeling better. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, I just had a sore throat cold thing. Hi, Kathy. Yeah, I'm finally back. You know, nothing worse than a summer cold, especially because the weather is just divine here. Yeah, so I'm sorry that I kept pushing it back, and I'm sorry for that confusion. And I'm sorry it's an hour earlier than I normally do. I actually don't like to go live on Tuesdays because so many other people do, and I don't want to step on toes, but this was the only way this would work because I've been sick the past few days. And I'm an hour earlier because Lila and her friends and Colin and Ken and my mom and Mike and I are going to an escape room. And so I have to be done in time to get there because the escape room is at 5:30 downtown. So just going live a bit earlier than normal. Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. Mike, did you send out a text?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good, good. Okay, so I have prepared a lot for today. I thought it would be fun to do unique window card designs, and I have like 5 or 6 prepped. I know I'm not going to get through them all, but we'll see what we can do. I will also be talking about some inking and having, hi Christopher, hi Miriam, I'll have some, hi Tina, I will have some inking techniques with stencils. We'll be talking a bit about that. And then fun pop-up see-through window kind of things, which is something you could do with a lot of different products. I will be doing another live with the All-to-New Ocean release once they have it back in stock. So I do have that prepped and ready to go. I just have to wait until it's back in stock. And I think that might be next week. So that live will probably be next week. Okay. Yeah. Brian said every room is an escape room for her, especially if other people are in it. Yeah. Well, the escape room we're doing today, we had to have all of us because you actually start into jail cells and you got to break free. And anyway, we did it a long time ago, but the joy of being old is you forget. You forget all the things. I'm hoping the kids remember some so that it doesn't take as long, but who knows. Okay. All right. Hello, I'm glad you're here. So I'm using Pinkfresh today. Several months ago, I think it was in the fall, Pinkfresh announced that they're continuing their ink line. And what I love about how they handled it is they said, we're discontinuing it, but not yet. We're letting you all know ahead of time. So if you wanted to buy any colors, you still could. And if you wanted to buy reinkers, you still could. They will eventually discontinue all this, but they've given fair warning, which I think is great. They will be coming out with a new ink line, I think later this summer, I believe. The reason they're changing is because they want to have a cardstock line of cardstock to match their inks. Anybody in the industry knows you start with the cardstocks and then you come out with the matching inks. It's too hard to go the other way around. So that's why they're going to redo their ink line. You also probably know from watching lives that I love their inks, and I will continue to use these inks even when they have new ones. I know some of the colors will be very similar, and I like their jelly bean kind of colors. So I'm excited for the new inks, but I'll continue to use these. And I really appreciate that they gave a very long heads up. So the ink pads and the reinkers, they will soon be discarded, but they're still great, and I'm still going to use them. So Mike, can you put up the special code? Let's see, there we go. Okay, so right now, this is a permanent markdown. You get 25% off their ink pads, their ink cubes, their reinkers, and their labels. But notice on the bottom there, if you use my code, you get another 10% off. All right, so you use that code at checkout and it'll give you another 10% off. They have Kathy, they have restocked the reinkers. All right, they've restocked the reinkers. Mike, can you scroll back just a little bit? Just a little bit. Keep going. Okay. I just thought I saw something I need to address. So the reinkers should be in stock again now. And I appreciate that she's restocked them, even though she's going to discontinue them, so people can get the Reinkers if they have the inks. So I wanted to just share this. I think it's fantastic deal, great inks, and you can continue to use them. Okay, I believe this is probably the last time they're restocking all this stuff. They've given us almost a year notice. All right, so the information on this is at the top of my YouTube description under offers. Underneath, or in addition to that, Mike, can you put up the next one? Right now, you get to choose a freebie with any order. Okay, so any order you place, there will be, I think there's a little pop, yeah, there's a pop-up will come up before checkout, and you choose which one you want. These are big, these are slimline stencils, but you can use them on any size card. I actually have used all of those stencils in past videos long ago. So you get that free stencil with any order, which I think is fantastic. The information is on that in the YouTube description below. And next, there's one more thing, right? One more thing, yes. They also have their clearance sale. The prices are 50 to 75% off, but when you use my code, you'll get another 25% off that. So deep discounts, there's a lot of products in there, and I've used most of them in videos. So there's a lot of different ways to save over at Pinkfresh today. I will not be using any of the clearance products today. I did in one of my previous lives, so you can check that out. But I will be using the inks and some newer stuff that I've been wanting to use, okay? So you can come back here, Mike. So again, all the information on those, the codes and everything is at the top of my YouTube description under special offers. But one thing that I do recommend doing instead is if you click the link that, what is that? Oh, if you click the link that's at the top of my YouTube description that has the word live in it, if you click that link and open it onto a new page or a new tab, you will see those images. And sometimes I think images are easier to register than text. And then underneath that, you'll see thumbnails of everything I used today, which makes it easier to find instead of text. So you can find all the information you need in the YouTube description below, which is all the text, or go to the link that has the word live in it, the top of my YouTube description, and that will give you images of everything you need to know. Just scroll through it. Mike, can you put that live link in the chat so people can find it easily? Okay, so lots of ways to save, but listen, what I'm using today, you could do a lot. You probably have similar products in your stash. You could do a lot of the same type of techniques, but I thought this would be fun. And of all the cards I prepped, five or six, I don't remember what, they all use the same frame for the windows. I'm using the same set so you can see it used in many ways, but you could use any frames you might have or two the same shape dies. All right. I will, people are asking about the stuff Mike brought back from Japan. If I have time at the end of this live, I'll show it, but I have to make sure I'm done by a certain time because I have to be somewhere. If not, I might just do a live all about it because I don't know. It depends. It depends. So I'm gonna try to at the end here, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try because I want to see it too. It's just always so much to do, and I over prep for today. Go figure. Organized by Kelly. I would tag Pinkfresh and see. I think Jody is here for Pinkfresh. Thank you, Jody. And Jody can let you know that. I think you might have to add them by one. I'm not sure, but Jody's here and hopefully she can answer that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first card is going to be the most unique of the cards, and then we're going to go through more ideas. All right, and we'll start with some inking. Yeah, I might do a separate live. I don't know. The code should work for if you have problems with the code working, please tag Pinkfresh and hopefully she can help you. Everybody wants a live just for it, Mike.
Well,
it's true.
Well, you want to be able to spend time because there's some cool stuff in it.
Yeah. Well, then
you don't want to rush through it.
I can go live later this week, probably.
And I'm really excited for you to see the gift that I had made for you. That's all I'm saying.
How fun. Are you on mic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually held up the whole tool group to get it done.
Oh,
so I can tell the story about that.
Wonderful.
Yep.
I'm sure they love that. Let's see if that works. Okay. All right, I'm just catching up on everything here. Okay, yeah, I might do a separate live. We'll see. I do have a lot today, but you'll see I have a lot prepped too. All right, so for the cards I'm doing today, I'm doing unique window cards. And for that, I am using this frame image. This frame image is from the Pinkfresh Blossom Medallion set. That's spelled wrong. So there is a stamp set. There's also a press plate set that has the same images, but press plates. Then there are coordinating dies and there are coordinating stencils. I linked to the collection below of the Blossom Medallion, and you can pick and choose what you want. Now I ended up using just the stamps today, but if you have a better press, you could use that, okay? So the press plates, it's totally up to you. But I thought this frame right here was a good example or a good image to use for a bunch of window cards. I also like that the die set that they have to go with the stamp set and the press plates, it has two separate dies, so you can just cut out the frame with a solid middle or cut the frame so it has an open middle, or just cut the middle. So you have lots of different options, okay? Yeah, I'm glad you're all here. Okay, Pinkfresh is helping folks there. Jody, if I need to change how I'm describing it or the words I use in the YouTube description, you can maybe text Brienne, and Brienne can text Mike. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm not. I might show the Japan stuff at the end of this live. If not, I'm going to do a whole live with it, because then I can play with it. Okay, so this is the Blossom Medallion. I will be using that frame on all of my cards today, but I will pull in a few other images. But for a lot of them, I'm going to be using these flowers, because the nice thing about this is this flower image has all four. This is all four images in one stamp. So you stamp it once, stencil it once, and then use the die to cut them all out at once. So I'll have lots of images. All right, so that's where I'm planning to start. Okay, so that is the Blossom Medallion. So I did some prep off screen. Let's go to our first card. This one is, I think, going to be my favorite. I'm hoping it works. We'll see. I did some prep. I did silver heat embossing. So I did silver heat embossing for that floral image, for the floral images. I did it twice. Okay, and then I also did the frame image twice, silver heat embossed. Okay, so I just used the two dies together to cut that frame. So now I have all my images ready, and we just need to add the stenciling, add the color with the stencils. So, oh, that was dumb. That was really dumb. I put the foam tape on the back to try to save time, but I still have to stencil it. Not very smart. Okay, I do want to let you know that about a few new things from Pinkfresh that I'm very excited about, especially this one. Pinkfresh now has new grip mats. They've never had grip mats before, and what I appreciate about their grip mats is that they solve a little issue that some of you may have. It is the nice grip mat. This one is 8.5 by 12. No, it is 11. It's 8.5 by 11, so it's like the size of a piece of paper. But what's neat about it, I don't know if you can see, it's like a checkered board on the bottom. It's not a grid, it's a checkerboard, so there's nice support behind it. There's a solid frame. So what's nice is that solid frame will cause it to stick to your desk, right? Or to a glass work surface or whatever. But because it's checkerboard here, it won't be too hard to remove. So it's nice that it has that frame so it stays stuck, but it's easy to remove. okay? And I love that because some of the grip mats that I have move too much on my desk, and some get too stuck to my desk that it's hard to peel off. So this is a nice compromise. They also have one that fits inside of the Misty, and I have it inside of my Misty. It's the same idea where there's the solid border and then a checkered board underneath. So it's easier to take out. But if you put the smaller of the grip mats in, it's called the EasyBlend grip mat. If you put the smaller one in your regular Misty, then you don't have to have any other thing in here. It replaces that foam pad. Isn't that a great idea? Yeah, and this stick is really good. I've been playing with them off screen, and they're great. They also have, I'm trying to get it centered-ish. They also came out with new brushes, and I'm going to be using those today for the first time. So you're going to see me experience them for the first time. All right, so we'll talk about that as we go. All right, so let's start inking. This is the Blossom Medallion. Let's see here. Hold, please. Here's the coordinating stencils. I think, you know what I think I might do? I think I'm going to die cut first. Normally, what you would do is you stamp first, use the stencils which color all of the images, then die cut. But I don't want all the same colors, so I think I'm going to change it. I think I'm going to do this. This is not what you normally do, but you know, this will make it easier for me. I could mask or something, but I think this will be easier. Yeah, there's new brushes, and what I'm excited about is they're the same bristles, I guess you say, hairs, bristles, I don't know, as their big magic brushes that I love so much. So I'm excited to use them. Yeah. I'm gonna use this one.
Can you use the checkerboard side as a background stamp like Gina?
You probably could stamp with the checkerboard side. I didn't think about it, but yeah, probably could. I have not tried that. What's wrong?
I just need to know if I'm using it or not. Oh. Make it a lot closer.
Okay. So yeah, normally I would color them all, stamp them all, color them all, and then die cut them. But I'm doing it this way because I only want to color one of the images. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. I think for this first one, I'm going to use this image. So I need to color both of these. I'm going to color them the same. And we'll set this aside for later. And I'll probably wonder where I put it. So tell me I put them on the chair. Okay, now what I can do is lay these down. I need to remember to do both of them. Can you scroll it? Lay these down. And then use the stencil on top. And, you know, I could have done them all at once, but I don't need them all. I want them all to be different colors because I don't want to do the same colors the whole time. So this is stencil number 1. I think for this first one, my background is going to be a light purple. This is Fairy Dust from Spellbinders. This is Fairy Dust. And it's a super light purple. So I'm going to use blues and purples on this first card. I think I'll do Soft Lilac and Shower Slumber. Get my ink stand out. Oh, you know what? And I'm going to have also, no, I'll go. See how this suctions on there? I think that's fantastic. Okay, so let's do, here we go. Here are the new brushes. They come in a set. I should have kept a set out. Here we go, I did. They come in these 2 sets. This is the 1/4" blending brushes, and this is the 1/2" blending brushes. So there's 6 in each of them. Look at this nice box it comes in that you can store. But what's neat is they used to have these sizes, but they were longer bristles, which made them a little bit harder to use. Now they have these shorter bristles. or hairs or whatever you want to say. And they are the same, like same hairs or bristles as their big mama brushes. So I'm very excited about that. But I need to try them. And that's what I'm going to be doing here. Okay, so soft lilac first. I'm going to do that on some of these. And I'm just going to go kind of darker towards the center, lighter towards the tip of the petals. And I'm going to just make them so some will be purple, some will be blue. I don't know. Why not? Other questions, Mike? Oh, I like them. I like that. I like that they're shorter bristles. I struggle with longer bristles. Yeah, I'm going to do the little one. See if I can get in the center. Oh, yeah. Nice. What's up?
Oh. Did you answer about your top 5 Pinkfresh colors?
Top 5 Pinkfresh colors. Oh, that's... You're asking me to pick my favorite? Mm-hmm. That's brutal. Let me do a little more blue on the tips. Top 5. Candy Violet, Waterfall, Coral Reef, Lemon Yellow. I think I'm going to use the smaller one. That way I can get smaller brush, because I can get heavier at the tips, or at the center, and lighter at the tips. And I don't need to mask. Well, I probably should have, because I got some there where I didn't want it, but that's okay. Oh gosh, Grassy Knoll, Emerald Coast. I'm going above my allotted amount. Those are some of my favorites that I use the most. All right, so there we have that. Now let's come in with the next stencil. I'll probably address more favorite colors as we go, but for now I think that's a good start. I'll probably use some of the Candy Violet here in a moment. So far I used Soft Lilac and Summer Shower, Candy Violet and Seaside. Let's do those colors, Candy Violet and Seaside. So Candy Violet, this is one of the colors that I like. Now, Pinkfresh inks soften and blend nicely after they dry. And this is just a really beautiful kind of orchidy color. So let's do that. So I'm going to go in with that pretty heavily. So some of this flower will be a bit darker than the rest of it. These little brushes are great because I can get into the nooks and crannies. Yay. And I wanted to have like a pretty bold bit of darker purple on here and darker blue. Pretty. I'll do the same thing on the other one. Mike, are there more questions while I do this? Okay. Let's see here. This grip mat's nice. Okay. Let's see. So I'll go heavy with the Candy Violet, and then pretty heavy with the Seaside. There we go. That's pretty. Okay, now next stencil. This does the insides, but instead of using the stencil, I'll just use a marker when I'm done. Okay, now we have the leaves. I think for this, I'll do the 2 greens that I mentioned, Grassy Knoll and Emerald Coast. Or actually, I'm going to do Key Lime and Emerald City. Sorry, it's Emerald City. Key Lime's a little more limey. Emerald City is a little more blue, but I think they'll be fun together. So I'll do Key Lime kind of lighter towards the tips, heavier towards the base of the leaves. And then I'll come in with Emerald City and put that towards the base of the leaves. I want like a little bit of contrast here. There we go. Oh, that's pretty. I missed the center of that flower. How'd I do that? Is there another stencil? But I did it here. I just missed it. I'll have to go back and do it. All right. Now let's do the same thing on this one. So I'm just doing two the exact same, but you could make them different if you wanted to. Fresh Pear is another good color. There are a lot of good colors. Here's the thing. It's hard to say what a favorite color, like to recommend colors, because everybody creates with different colors. Some people like to create with softer color palettes. Some like a heavier color palette. So it's kind of hard to say which, to recommend one, because you know, what I would use might be a little different than what you would use. I usually use brighter colors, but some people use softer. And then finally this one. This adds some details to leaves. So normally what you would do is all of the images and then die cut them. But again, I wanted to have like a, I don't know, make it easier to make them different colors. All my floral images different colors for my different cards. So this adds some interest to the leaves. I'm using evergreen for that, and there we go. Now for the center of those flowers, I'll just use a yellow marker because I'm being lazy. Let me put these away. If I don't start putting my inks away now, I'm doomed. Okay, so I may end up doing like a silver at this silver gem or something at the center. I don't know, we'll see. So this is what we end up with. Isn't that cute? And that's gold or silver heat embossed. Now I have my two frames. This one I already put foam tape behind. So I'm hoping I can still stencil it with the foam tape behind it. It might be hard, but I did that trying to be a little more prepped for you guys. And then I remembered, I shouldn't have done that. All right, so let's do Summer Shower. So I'm using the same colors that I used before. Summer Shower first. So there's two stencils that will color the the frame. Sorry, I still have a little bit of a cough left. I was in bed all weekend. All weekend. I came out just for a little bit of Father's Day time, and that was it. I was...
You had a jacked up back, too.
Yeah, and because I sat in bed, I usually walk a lot, like I get a lot of steps in the day. Because I was in my bed all day, my back for 3 days, my back started hurting. So my back is all messed up now. I have to move or I get a sore back. Now remember, this is the one that has foam tape behind it. So I'm gonna hope that I can still stencil over it. I think I will. All right. Are there any questions, Mike? Yeah, these brushes are nice. Ooh. I love good brushes. I like that they're white too. And then I'm not being super careful here because I'm trying to hurry.
What was the plastic you were using at the beginning when applying ink? It covered areas so she didn't ink up areas where she didn't want.
Oh, this is alignment corner from Altenew. It's like stencil material, but you could also just take another, like the edge of another stencil and do that, or use a Post-it note. It's just to help kind of block different areas of a stencil. All right, last one here. Oop. Good news. I have foam tape under here, but I was still able to stencil it. It's kind of harder to line up, but oh well. All right, so now I'll do the lilac and candy apple, or candy violet. So what other questions? Because I'm not looking up while I ink, which is not good of me, but.
Will the new cardstock be smooth enough for foiling?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question for Pinkfresh. Will the new cardstock be smooth enough for foiling? So hopefully they're here and can answer that for you. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Wrong color. Okay, there we go. So, oh, I gotta do this one. I probably should have done all this inking ahead of time to save you all time, but I wanted to play with the inks and the new brushes. So they have 3 sizes of brushes now at Pinkfresh. There's 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and the 1 inch. The 1 inch are the ones that I call the magic blending brushes because they blend so well. I use those for bigger backgrounds or bigger images. The images I'm using right now are pretty small, so I'm using the smaller brushes. I think it's more important to have brushes of different sizes than to have a ton for lots of different colors. Okay, so there we go. We have, and watch, this just comes off nicely. And it didn't move when I was using it. I like it. I like it. Bravo to Pinkfresh. Put my brushes away. Okay, so now I'm going to give a set of brushes away at the end also. So there we have our images for our card. We're going to make a card that you can see completely through it. Okay? So I will have a window on the front and the inside of the card that's completely clear. So there will be a clear window that you'll see all the way through. So I am starting with a few pieces here. I'm going to tell you, my card base is a bit bigger than normal because I just wanted to. I thought it'd be fun. So my card base is, so I have more room to put things on the card. My card base is actually 4.5 by 5 3/4. Now that isn't the full size of an A6 card. It's a little bit shorter than an A6 card. A6 cards are 6 1/4, 4.5 by 6 1/4. So I will put my final card in an envelope, in an A6 envelope, right? Mike, can you add cards and pockets envelopes to the supply list? So I will be using an A6 envelope here. So I have a card base that's 4.5 by 5 3/4, just a little bit bigger than what we normally do. And I have a card panel that's my normal size, 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. Now you could make this whole card that smaller size. It's just my final card is going to be a 1/4 inch taller and a 1/4 inch wider than an A2. All right, so this panel is 4 1/4 by 5.5, and it is fairy dust from Spellbinders. And I didn't really get a perfect, I think it'll be fine. Okay, so I have 2 panels that are cut to 4 1/4 by 5.5, and then my card base that is 4.5 by 5 3/4. All right, let's see here. I need to cut a window, this inside die, because we have the inside and the outside. I need this to be cut in the same spot through all of my layers. So we're going to do that here. Let me find my T-ruler. I'm using I want to get it centered on my card. I'm actually going to have it centered, but up a little bit, I think. Yeah, I'll make it up a little bit. So centered, but a little more towards the top. So I'm using my Pearblossom press T-ruler, or I forget what the other thing they call it, T-square. They have this in the A2 size, and they have this in the for a 5 by 7. But what's nice about it is when you put it up against your A2 panel, where it has 0, that's the center point of your panel. So I put a little mark at the 0, then I rotate this and I put a line through that mark, and now I know that line is halfway across my card panel. This will help me to frame center up my frame. Oh, is it Fairy Tale? Sorry, the cardstock is called Fairy Tale. Sorry, got that wrong. Now, if you want to have the center point in this direction, put it along the top and use this 0. And then you can draw a center point line across that. So now I know this is the center point, and that's just going to help me get everything lined up. I really, really like this tea roller. I've shown many things you can do with it in lives in the past, and they're great. Can you scroll back a little bit? I thought I saw something. Oh, how do I clean brushes? I don't. I rarely clean my brushes. There's no need. There's just no need. So I don't. If I want to remove like a darker color from a brush, I will just rub it off onto a dry cloth. But no, I don't. I normally don't clean them. Okay, so I'm thinking I want to be just a little bit above center. So I have that pencil line that is helping me get this centered, because that top point is centered on the line and this bottom point is centered on the line. The halfway line I'm ignoring because I want it to be up a little bit. So once I'm happy with it being straight and centered, I'll run that through my die cut machine. You never use your tea roller. I love mine. I have it linked below. I think the tea rollers are so helpful in getting things straight and centered and all the things. So this is my front card panel. I can then erase my pencil lines. We'll probably do something to this in a bit. I don't know what. I know, and by the way, I know I'm not going to get through all of these cards today. So maybe when I go live finishing my Altenew, I can go live finishing these. Or maybe I'll go live tomorrow finishing these. Who knows? All right, so I have one panel. This is going to go on the front of my card. I want to do the exact same thing for the inside of my card, and you'll see why in a little bit. So I'm taking another fairy tale panel, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm laying this one right on top of it, the one we've already cut. I'll put a little bit of adhesive right there in the center of the window, and then I'm going to take this and pop it right in. So I'm popping that in there. Now I can remove this and set it aside and line this die up right on top of that die cut that I had glued on this panel. That way when I run this through, the window will be in the exact same spot, because I want my windows to be cut through all of these levels in the same spot so that you can see completely through them. Hi, Dana. Yeah, if you really need to clean a brush, you can do a light spritz of rubbing alcohol and then on a dry cloth. But I never wash, I've never soaked a brush. All right, so now I'm going to remove that. I don't need this inside piece, so it doesn't matter if it tears. Now it didn't cut all the way through because this is heavyweight cardstock. So all I did is remove the die that was helping me line it up, put the die into the partially die cut window we have, and then run it through again. There are a few different ways you can do this. This, I feel, gives a nice clean look in the end. All right, so now my 2 fairy tale panels will have the window in the exact same spot. I need to do the same thing on the front and the inside of my note card. Okay, so what I'll do is, let's take one of these. I'm going to take one of these panels, lay it onto the front of my closed card, trying to get a nice white trim all the way around. Put some adhesive there in the center, just to put that in the right spot. So you're going to see me do this a few times. Now I take this and put it right onto that die cut. I'm going to open it up and do it this way. You could try to do the whole thing, but I don't want to put, you could keep the card folded and try to cut through the different layers. But here's the thing, I don't want to press too hard and get like the marks of my cutting plates on the cardstock. I want it to stay looking nice. There is another way to do it. I'll show you the other way here in a moment. There's another way to do this, but see, I partially cut it. I just need to pop it in and then run it completely. I'll show you another way you can do this. But I want these to be exactly, these windows to be in the exact right position every time. Okay. So here we go. So now see how the front has a window, and when I put this on the front, there's a nice white trim. Now I need a window finally on the inside. And what you can do is, I guess I'll do it. I'll just take my cards closed. I'll pop that right into the window and now run this through. So whatever you need to do to get those all in the same spots. Now, I'm using these frame dies, but you could use like 2 circle dies or 2 rectangle dies and create your own frame, like one that's slightly bigger than the other. Let's see. So that didn't cut all the way through because it's going through a lot of layers. So I'll just open it up, pop it in. So if something doesn't completely cut, just do it again. Now the process I just showed you, we're going to be using that process for all my different window cards. But I did this step already to save some time, okay? So now look at this. Completely see-through, and I've got 2 panels, one for the front and one for the inside, okay? All of it lines up. Now, hey Mike, can you do me a favor?
Yep.
Can you clean these stencils for me with this rubbing alcohol? Thank you. All right. Now, what will happen is one of these frames will go on the front and one of the frames will go on the inside. But we need to do a little bit of planning. Now, I thought it'd be fun, just bear with me here. This frame will be here, the flower will be in the middle, sentiment will be down here. But I want some interest on this purple. Okay, so this is the Fairy Tale from Spellbinders. I thought I would use a press plate. This is another new one from Pinkfresh. These came out a few weeks ago. I just haven't used them yet. This is called the Sunlit Garden, and I really like it. So the Sunlit Garden has, they're available, a stamp set. It's a cling stamp, and then sentiments. Then there is a die that cuts that center out, so you can have like a window. So you could use this for the techniques we're doing, or you could skip that. There's also a press plate that you can use, and you can use that with the die also. There are dies and press plates for sentiments, and then stencils to color it in. And you end up with a frame like this that fits a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card panel. And there are tons of examples using this with the stencils and getting that colored image on their website. Again, it's the Sunlit Garden. But I'm just going to use the press plate to add some subtle interest to the back of my card, the background of my card. Now, I have a choice. I could use, hey, Mike. Oh, he's cleaning up. Mike. Hold on, he'll come back because I want to have you guys vote. Now, remember, my card is going to look like this. I'm going to use this press plate on this purple panel. But there's already going to be a lot going on. That's going to be there, and then I'll have a sentiment somewhere. Sentiment towards the bottom of the frame. So, I'll probably put it like right there. I don't know, something like that. I need to decide if I want to use ink on the press plate or if that would be too busy. I think I'll use ink on the press plate. We're going to do it. It might be a little busy, but if you wanted to, you could skip the ink. Let me show you what it looks like with the ink skipped. So this is a press plate. I did a video, the last video I did, in fact, is all about press plates. With press plates, you can either use them with the better press to get an impression and a crisp image. You could foil with them on your glimmer machine. You can make an impression with your embossing mat, and you can stamp with them. And I showed those methods in my last live. But I wanted to show you that you can use press plates uninked on your better press system. So this is my better press. I'm putting that Sunlit Garden right at the center. And I'm going to I'm just going to demo what this looks like uninked because it's really pretty, but it won't show up very well in my video. So now this is in those tick marks. I just put my cardstock on the top in the tick marks. Let me show you what no ink looks like, and then I might stick with that. This is just an example, example piece so you can see it, and I'll decide if it's too subtle. So there's no ink on here. There might be some ink left over from last time, but who knows? And run it through. Now, if you don't have a better press system, you could get a really cool impression using your embossing mat, and that will give you a deeper impression. I just want something subtle here. Here is what the impression looks like with no ink. Isn't that pretty? And that's on that purple cardstock. So I'm thinking of doing the no ink. Or, do I have any more purple? Do I have any more purple? And then I'll do one with the... Okay, I'm going to go without the ink. I'll use it with the ink on another one. All right, so I'm going to do that same thing onto my piece, one of my pieces where we did the window. So I just put a little bit of adhesive on the back, put it inside the tick marks, like that, so that when it runs through, it'll line up nicely. Excuse my head. Just want to make sure. Okay, now I'm going to run it through. Yeah, you could do tone on tone. I'll do tone on tone on the next one. Okay, but I really like the look of it just without. Okay, so look at that. Isn't that pretty? Come on, focus. Can you see it? There we go. So it's really pretty in real life. It's going to be hard to see in the video, but there you just saw it. All right, so I'm going to save this because I'll probably do something with this later. But by the way, if you don't have a press plate, or if you don't have a better press, you could use the stamp here and do like tone on tone or clear heat embossing. So that will go on the front. All right, now I have a hole all the way through my card, but I want to float the flower there. So I have acetate. I have 2 pieces of acetate here. This is Pinkfresh acetate. I love their acetate for a few reasons. 1, it's heavyweight, so it's great for card bases. 2, it's heat resistant, so you can heat emboss on it. You can foil on it too. And 3, it comes with this protective coating, so it doesn't get scratched as you're creating. So I linked to their acetate below. It's fantastic. However, for the card we're doing, you could use any recycled clear packaging here because we're not heating it, we're not making a card base out of it, it's just the window. All right, so I will, on the front of my card, I'm just going to put some adhesive, and I will put my acetate, one of my acetate pieces right on top. Okay, so it's just glued right onto the front. I did cut my acetate to be a bit smaller, so the acetate is like 4 by 5¼ inches. Okay, now on top of that, I will put the one that we just did the press image on. Can you scroll it? And I'm just going to line up my window so that we have a nice window on the front. Okay, so the acetate sandwiched between. I'll do the same thing on the inside. So this one, when you open it up, it'll have purple on the inside too. I didn't do the press on this one because I want to be able to write on it. But again, I'll sandwich a piece of acetate between. It could be any kind of clear packaging, but I just like the quality of this. So that gets lined up there. The reason I didn't write or do the press on plate on the inside is because I want something smooth to write on. Now it's time for our frames. First of all, we'll put a frame on the inside. I don't know where my liquid adhesive bottle went, so I'll put a frame on the inside so it looks pretty on the inside. Look at that. And I would write like down here on the bottom. On other cards, I'll put my frame in the center and you actually can write your message around it, which I think is fun. And then we want this on the front. So I already put foam tape on the back of this because I thought I was going to be saving the day by prepping something, but I don't know that it really helped. All right, I'm seeing it. Are there any questions? I will say more about the Pinkfresh inks. A lot of people were asking, like, I get asked a lot what the best inks are. Listen, there's a lot of great inks out there. And I am not one to say you need to have a complete line, but I know some people have complete line, ink line syndrome and want to have them all. But what? Oh, okay. Sorry, I got distracted. Cammie just brought me some glue. Some people want to have complete lines, like they have a full set syndrome. I don't have that. I am more about picking the colors from different lines. So you'll see me use different lines of ink together. I reach for Pinkfresh for the fact that their inks are like jelly bean colors. They're just bright and they're happy. There are sets of 4 inks, like a light, medium, dark, and extra dark, but you don't have to buy them in sets. You can buy them individually. The brushes, this is what I'm gonna do for storing the new brushes. I plan to put like a big purple and a small purple together in one. So I'll have like 2 blues together. So a small and a big in each color. I could spread them out more, but I think this is what I'm gonna do. So I haven't started it yet, but that's what I'll do, like a big and a small of one color in a little section, and then I can put other brushes. You can even put the magic brushes, the big 1-inch ones in here. This is, I believe, linked at the bottom of my supply list. So that's what I have them in right now. Bristles up. Okay, now this is gonna go right there. Isn't that pretty? But we need some dimension behind that. Let's just go with foam squares to make it easy. Well, let's see, she brought me a glue. Okay. So I am gonna stack 1 behind here, and there's a reason I'm stacking 1. If I just put foam squares behind this and put it in the middle, it would probably get crushed in the mail unless I really covered it great with a lot of foam behind it. Like this, I had foam going all the way around, so it should be fine. But if I just put a few on here, it might get crushed in the mail, and I don't want that to happen. So by putting 1 extra die cut behind it, it'll be stronger and won't get as crushed. But listen, you don't need to have any of this dimension if you don't want to. I'm not sure about, I don't know that I want the sentiment I chose. Might have to rethink my sentiment, but I'll show you. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Yeah, that's okay. So it's gonna go right in there. All right. See through. I want 1 here too, that's why I made 2. So I'll put adhesive on the back of this. So there's adhesive on the back of my other floral. I'm gonna lay it down, adhesive's up towards the camera, lay it down lined up with the one on the front so that I can close my card and it gets stuck to that acetate on the inside. So there's a flower on the inside and the outside. Now I don't like that you can see my adhesive through, so I have extra die cuts here to put on the back side. So this is the front of the die cut I'm putting adhesive on. And I'll lay it down lined up here. Sorry, my head gets in the way. So it looks nice from that side, and then 1 for the back. Now, I will say, if you wanted to get really creative, you could do the kissing method, or not the kissing, the mirror image method, like a mirror stamping technique, so that you have a floral image here too. But I didn't want to take the time to do that today, so that's what we have. Now for a sentiment, I was thinking I wanted to do that right there, but I feel like it might get lost. I could do black. I might want bigger. Something bigger. Let me see. I don't think I have any other silver ones prepped. Maybe I do. Hold on. No, I don't. I don't think I have any more prepped. This could be pretty if I silver heat embossed it. This is, no. that stand out enough? I could put it more underneath, but I don't think I'd like that. I don't know. I might wait on the sentiment. You like the black better? So it stands out more? Maybe that's better. Maybe that's what, it just gets lost when it's silver. Maybe that's what how long is the code good for? 25, or sorry, to the 25th. I think I might do the black. I think I'm gonna go with the black. Okay, Mike, can you do a poll? Black sentiment or silver sentiment? In the meantime, I'm going to get some little gems for the center of the flowers. Where are the ones that I want though? Oh, dearie. That's not it. Mike's gonna do a poll and you can vote if I do the black sentiment or the silver. Could always do a different sentiment. Dang it, where are they? These no. I can't find the Pinkfresh glitter dots that I want. Maybe I have yellow that I'll use. Sorry, I'm over to the side overthinking my choice of gems. I think I'm just gonna go with like a silver bauble. Maybe a white. All right, let me know what they say. All right, I'm gonna put just a little bauble in the center instead of the flower, instead of the yellow that I did. I don't know why. Let's see. This is where Jennifer overthinks too much. What are they saying, Mike?
Black, pretty far.
Black, pretty far. Okay. I will say sometimes the softer colored sentiments are good in person, but don't come out great on the screen because it gets lost. But you know, it's completely up to you. So I'll do the black because that's what you guys voted for. So there we go. I think I'll do it right like that. Yeah, I like it. I like it overlapping that. Like, excuse me while I overthink. There we go, like that. Like that. There we go. Isn't that fun? So you can see the better press on the background, and the card is completely see-through, which I just think is so cool. And then you write your personal message here. If I had centered the frame, you could write your personal message around it, which I think is always fun.
Like 75% black.
75% black. Here's what silver looks like. For those of you who want the silver, actually it looks really good.
Too bad.
So yeah, I could have also done like a darker purple or blue. So there's both options because I know everybody has a different opinion. Isn't that fun? So that is one type of window card, completely see-through. Now I used a frame die and stamp, but you could use like two oval frames, one slightly bigger than the other, to make your window like that. But the idea was to cut in the same spot through all of the surfaces. So now we have this floating flower there at the center. Isn't that fun? I just think that's pretty. Yeah, it's a great set. That frame is wonderful. I'll be using it on all the cards. So that's card number 1. Now I got to remember what card number 2 was. I think it was this one. Flower. Hold on, I got to think about it. That one's kind of boring. Trying to think of which one to show you next. Oh, let's do this one. Maybe. Hold on. I will be back. I just need to do this. I need to look here. Trying to decide which one to do first. Oh. We'll do that one next. Big flower. Okay. Window pop-up. Okay, let's do this one. It's a simple one. All right, so got my little notes. Again, using the same set, which is, what was it called? Blossom Medallion. What is it? Blossom Medallion. Same set. This time I gold heat embossed. So I have here gold heat embossing for the frames. I have, this time I only need one flower. I think I'm going to do the tulip image. Notice that's not completely heat embossed. Heat set that. This time come on. This time I think I will, no, I'll cut it out again first. Okay, so I only want that one. I'm going to preserve the others in case I want to use them on other cards. Yeah, the see-through is fun because I'm always trying to look for a way to make the card extra special and different than what you would buy at a store, and that definitely fits the bill. Okay, so got my images here, run this through. Again, you can color them all at once with the same stencils, but I'm doing things the hard way because I don't know what I want to do with the others. Yeah, I had to change the time, but the good news is you can rewind. My kids wanted to do an escape room, and so I have to leave a little bit early. Got my grip mat. Look, it'll stick nicely, but it comes off nicely. Oh, I love it. Dang it. That's awesome. Okay, same stencils. Oh, I don't want the same image. I want the tulip. I didn't use so I use the Empress Die Cut Machine, and when this gets really used, you have to switch and start using a shim, a metal shim behind it, in order for it to cut deep enough. And I didn't do that, so it's not cutting out completely. So I'm using my scissors to finish the cutting. That's my fault. I should have a shim in there, but I didn't. I took the shim out when I was making the doing the frame technique because I didn't want too much pressure in there. So hang on a second. Okay, Mike, are there questions while I do this?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Okay, there's my tulip. All finished. What's the question?
Somebody missed where you got the grip mat and what size. Oh, go ahead.
This is the Pinkfresh just came out with these grip mats. There's two sizes. There's a bigger and a smaller. This is the bigger one. It's the size of a sheet of cardstock. The smaller one fits into the Misty, which I'll show you here in a bit.
Yeah, so that was another question about the Misty. Smaller one.
There we go. Yeah, there's two sizes. I believe there's only two. The one that goes in the inside is like 6.5 by 8.5, I think it is. But it's the smaller of the two brushes, smaller of the two grip mat sizes. Mike, can you look and see what the two sizes are? So, all right, let's start with our tulip. I'm all over the place here. Okay, so let's start here. For this one, I'm using this color here, which is, I think this is Lawn Fawn Blush. Yep, this is Lawn Fawn Blush. I wanted a soft color in the background, so this I'm going to do some kind of peachy, yellowy, pinky flowers.
Aren't there three sizes?
Are there three sizes?
6.5 by 8.5.
That's the Misty size. 6.5 by 8.5 is the Misty size.
8.5 by 11.
8.5 by 11.
And
which I'm using.
4 3/4 by 6.
Okay, there is a smaller one. 4 3/4 by 6. That's for a mini Misty, is my guess. Sorry, I got that wrong. Let's see here. I think I'll do, this is Sun-Kissed. I gotta start putting my inks away or I'm gonna be in deep trouble here. Oh, running out of room. Okay, I think I'll do Sun-Kissed first. like right here. So it's like a orangey yellow. Then I'll do some lemon whip. That's a great yellow. It's like the perfect yellow. I'm going to bring that further down. And then peony. This is one of the colors I really like too. These brushes are great. Dang it. So many good things to choose from. And then let me do a little more sun-kissed. There we go. Do a little bit of sun-kissed down here too. I think that would be pretty. Ah, look at that. Then the next stencil does the details on flowers. This I want to do heavier or darker, I guess. So let's do peony. We'll do peony heavy there. There's that. Then we have the stem. Peony, Sunkissed, and Lemon Whip is what I used. I might come in with a little bit darker on there, but let's first do our leaves. I'll do Key Lime and Emerald City again. So Key Lime over all of it. See what else? Yeah, okay. Key Lime over all of it, but then I will come in and do more of the dark Emerald City. There we go. I want that to be pretty dark. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Then the leaves. Let's see, is that it then? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So for this, I'll do Key Lime over all of it. And then Emerald City just at the base. Other questions, Mike? Will I inky? I'm doing fast inking here because I want to be able to share a lot. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? But I do want a little more dark. I like to have a lot of contrast because remember, a lot of dye inks kind of pull back and soften. So I want to make it a little more impactful. So I'm going to come in also with, let's make it Raspberry Bliss, sorry.
When do you know it's time to get a new mat for your Impress?
When do I know to change the magnetic mat? When it's just too beat up, but I make it go for a long time. I mean, it's really a personal preference. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Wow. It really is up to you. So this mat is different than the waffle flower mat because the waffle flower mat is solid. So it's harder to pull off your table, but it sticks great. Then the Altenew is a fine grid underneath all the way around the whole entire backing. So it doesn't stick to the desk as much over time. Whereas this has that nice solid border to hold it in place, but because it's checkerboard underneath, it peels off easier than solid. So I'm hoping that makes sense. Did that answer their questions? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Do you even know? Mike's like, uh-huh.
Yep. Answered it if I asked it, but...
What?
We'll see.
We'll see? Okay.
I would think so.
Let's do peony. Woo! That went bright. That went much darker than I thought. If I wanted softer, I could have done the cherry blossom. I think I had some pink ink on there, but that's okay. So we'll do that there. Oh, and then I'll do it on here too. Good enough. I'm trying to think of what I was doing for this card. Oh, okay, the pop-up. And line it up over here. We'll do peony here too. Now you could do your inside frame a different color than the outside frame. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could do this, but I'm just kind of, this isn't as much about the images I'm making as it is about the die cutting and the windows and all that stuff. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, okay. All mats will stain because these mats are made from the same, pretty much the same material as a stamp. So that material, the nature of that material is it will stain. But here's the thing, it doesn't really matter because it'll still work fine. The way you know it's high quality is it stains. That's just how it is. Because it is meant, these are the stamps we use from the good companies, and the sticky mats and things that we use, they all will stain because it's made from a material that's meant to transfer ink. So that's just part of it, is yes, it will stain, but it'll still work great. I haven't gotten any ink on mine yet. Oh, I love it. I haven't gotten any ink on mine yet, so they're not stained, but it will get stained. And it just means that you have loved them properly. So I'm doing lemon whip. How am I doing on time? Oof, 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 oof. Lemon whip, and then a little bit of Sun-Kissed at the base. Sun-Kissed is a really nice, like, light orange. Great for the center of flowers, happy color. Okay, there we go, 2 frames. So I only need 1 flower for this particular technique. All right, Mike, can you clean those? Because I'll need to come back to them, sorry. I need to move that card so it doesn't get inky. So there are my 2 frames and my tulip. Whoop. Yeah, staining does not affect how it works. You are right. And if you need to give it a bath, you can use a stamp cleaner because it's stamp material. Look at that. That's pretty. Boom. Okay. Now, do I want to add some interest to this background? I think I do. I think I will use the press plate, but with some ink on it this time. The same press plate. So I'm doing the same thing as before, but you guys are going to see it with a little ink. Actually, I'm going to use a different press plate. Let me show you a different press plate. Where is my magnet? Here we go. I'm going to use a different press plate. I think I will use this press plate. This is the, Mike, can you, oh, I'm hoping this is in the supply list, the Lemon Blossom Crest. It has this beautiful stamp image, but there's also a press plate, if you prefer that, that does this like image that all you have to do is add a sentiment to the center. All right? And then there's tons of sentiments. Lots of good ones too. So I think I'm going to use this press plate but with a little bit of ink. And I think it will look cool with this frame on it. You won't see a lot of it, it'll just be peeking out. But I think that'll look cool. I'm hoping that looks cool. So I'm going to try to center it up inside of the frame there. So this is the, what did I say it was called? Lemon Blossom Crest. This is such a beautiful image. And there are stencils that color it and all that, but I'm just using it as a little bit of a backdrop here. Let's put a little bit of glue on the back. You can use tape too to tape that down. And this time I will use ink, but I want it to be soft. I think I'm going to use Ballet Slipper, which is a really light ink. So I'm going to ink this up. You can use any inks really for this. I do think dye inks with a firm pad or a felt pad work great, and that's what these Pinkfresh are perfect to use on your press plates. Now this is going to be a very light ink color. I'll put that down, run this through my die cut machine. Yeah, check the spelling when you use the code because some people use my name with a Q and it's really a G. So that throws some people off. There we go. Oh, look, it's very subtle because I used a light ink on light cardstock, but look at that. Isn't that pretty? So now it just frames it. Isn't that gorgeous? But this is going to go on top. So look here. Now see how pretty that is? Very subtle. I could have made it so it stood out more, but I want it to be very subtle. Oh, I even like that better than the last one. And there are lemons in this, but you don't really see them in the card that I'm doing. There we go. So you could use any press plate in the background, but that one's really nice. I'm excited about that. I'm going to use that one again. Okay. So let me move all that. Now on this one, once again, my card is, yeah, my card, thank you, Mike. My card is 4.5 by 5 3/4, just a little bigger than normal. I just wanted a bigger card size. And this blush color cardstock from Lawn Fawn is cut to 4 1/4 by 5.5. Now this time I'm not putting any acetate in there. I want this to be an open window. Where did my tulip go though? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna make sure this will, yeah. Okay. So let me just start putting all this together. So no acetate is needed for this window card. I'm not really sure where I'm going here. Just bear with me. So we have that on the front. Now I want there to be a little dimension behind this. So I have some extra die cuts I made that I'll stack together. The disc, so somebody asked what the special offer is. With any order, you get a free stencil set. The information is on down in the YouTube description below. You don't need a code for that. A little pop-up will come up and I think you get to choose. And then also 25%, all the inks, ink cubes, reinkers are all marked 25% off, but if you use my code, you get another 10% off. Then the clearance section they have is already marked down 50 to 75% off, and with my code, you can also get 25 additional % off. So there's a lot of options. All right, so I stacked some together. You could use foam tape there, whatever floats your boat. Oh, that's so pretty. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so now I need something on the inside. So I want that on the inside. I think, do I want it to be white or peach on the inside? Let me just look. I think I like the peach. I'm gonna just make it solid peach on the inside. Maybe I like the white. This is what I do. I overthink. I'm gonna go with the white. So I want to put a frame on the inside here. My tulip bit the dust. So what I'll do is put, this one I'm not stacking because it's going on the inside. I put liquid adhesive around the back of it. All right. Now I'm going to lay it around here so it's lined up. The adhesive's facing up towards the camera. Line it up the best I can. Close my card on it. And now the frame is lined up. But this is just glued flat in here. Let me see. I got a little green ink smudge here, so I'm using a paper sander to kind of sand it away. I don't know where it came from. This is one of the best tools for cleaning up little messes. Oh, bad back. Okay, now I want this to go, like, pop out. To just be, like, kind of floating in here. Now, you could have put acetate on this front window and it would float, and when you open it up you could put another one like I did before, but it's solid in there. I think I'm going to try a different method. Okay, I have a piece of cardstock here. I'm going to try something. We're going to see if this works. Okay, this piece of cardstock is 2 inches by 4 inches. All right, and we're going to put a bunch of score lines on this. So it's 2 inches wide. That really, the 4 inch doesn't matter as much as that 2 inch width. I'm going to do a score line at 1/4 inch. 1/2 inch, and then 3/4 of an inch. So 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. Then I'm going to rotate and do the same from the other side. 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. Okay. And then I'm going to, actually we can, now this is bigger than we need. So I've got score lines going along here. It's bigger than we need. We don't need it to be this big, but by scoring a bigger piece, I can cut as many pieces as I want. So I'm going to cut two that are about 1/4 inch wide. And then I'll accordion fold along those. So I'm going to end up with this little like pop-up-y thing. Like that. See? Pop, pop. It's like a little spring. And I'll do that with the other one. Can you add the paper sanders to the supply list? Brianne just put a link to the paper sanders in the chat. They come in a big set. I use them for techniques too. So you see these little funny looking things? Those I'm going to try to add to the back of my tulip to make it pop out and like really pop out when you open the card. But I want to make sure this is strong. So I'm going to add another plain die cut behind my tulip so it's nice and strong. I think that's good. Then on the 2 little flaps, thank you, Rachel. The 2 little flaps, I'll put liquid adhesive. So the 2 little flaps that are right there and right there. And I'll take that and I'll press them down on the back of my tulip. So it'll pop up, see how it pops up like that? Okay. And I'm going to do the other one down here. So it has 2 pop-up supports. So you can make these pop-ups bigger or smaller. I needed 2 small ones for the behind of this. You could use action wobblers. The thing is though, with action wobblers, you usually want to use 1. If you put 2, it doesn't wiggle as much. So you could put 1 action wobbler behind the top of the tulip, but I didn't want it to shake. I just wanted it to pop up. Okay. So now I've got these 2 little platforms. I will put some adhesive on those 2 little platforms, and I'll take it and I'll press it down right into the middle. I'm going to go up a little bit because I'm going to put my sentiment. I think I'm going to put my sentiment along the bottom. I don't know if I'm going to put it along the bottom or right on smack dab. Oh, I like it right on it. Yeah, I like it on it. Okay, so there. So now see how it really stands up? It flattens to go in an envelope, but it pops up. So it looks like it's floating there, but I can still open and close my card. And you see it whether the card is open or closed. Now I know all of you are going to get mad at me for putting the sentiment directly onto the tulip. I get people saying, why would you cover up your image? I like it there because I feel like, I mean, I could put it down here, but I feel like it's the focal point of my card. So I'm putting it right in the middle. Now in this case, I'm going to go with the black because, excuse me, because it's there in the middle, I want it to really stand out more. So I'm going with the black. Another option I could do is white heat emboss this sentiment on white cardstock and then ink blend with some of those colors on top so that the background of the sentiment would be that color. But I think I'm just going to go with this. So I'll put some glue on the back and put this right smack dab. So now like the sentiment pops up with it. Yeah. See? Oh, that makes me so happy. So this flattens and it pops up. So it makes for, now when I write my sentiment here, I would write, "Dear Mike, you are the best brother in the whole wide world. Love, your favorite sister." So I would have it go around. I think that's fun, but you could also just write it in the open spaces. You could write it like along here in the middle. It doesn't matter. But I got a card from my mother-in-law before she passed away that she wrote it like in a circle around a center element on a store-bought card, and it was so cool. All right, so there we go. Now this one, I do think Now something's bothering me on this. I want, see how bright that is there? I kind of want that brightness on those points too. No, maybe not. Maybe I just need a gold gem there. Maybe that's what I need. I'll do that. I'm going to take a glitter dot, glitter drop, I guess I should call them. Yeah, this is the one I want. These are the glitter drops from, or glitter drops, yeah, glitter drops from Pinkfresh. I love them because it's like a clear rhinestone with glitter in the inside. And these are really cool. These are the Sparkle and Shine. I don't know if they carry them anymore, but they're half gold, half silver, like an ombre kind of look. But I thought that would be nice here. And I'm gonna put, yeah. Yeah, you could add, you can do lots of things to this, you know. That's the joy of it. A lot of different ways you can, but this card is one of those, you got to see it in person because of that press plate we used in the background. I wanted to keep that subtle because there's so much going on in the inside. If I would have made that press plate in the background any darker, I think it would have overpowered it, maybe. It would have been too busy, I guess. There we go. Ah. There we go. So see the press plate in the background, how it just adds subtle interest. I could have done it a little bit darker tone on tone, but I think that's great how it is. There's the sparkle in those gems, and this just pops up on its own. It flattens for to go in an envelope, and then it pops up with this amazing floating look. It looks like it's floating through the window. Isn't that neat? So that is my second unique window card. So on the first one, it was completely see-through. All right, on the second one, we did this element that popped up through it. So remember, you could use any frame die that you want, or two dies that are the same shape, but one bigger than the other. Like I could have created a frame with two oval dies. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could do this. By the way, I had pre-cut my window. I just cut the window on my card in the same place as the window on my blush colored cardstock. On this one, I did center it completely, whereas in this one, I had it up a little bit. Okay? Yeah. So two different ways. Is it really only 3:30?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have time to do some things here. Okay. Hey, Mike, would you do me a favor? There's LaCroix in the fridge down here. Can you grab me one? I'm gonna put some inks away before I can't find anything. And then we're gonna do a shaker window. It's a little bit different than a regular shaker card. It's gonna be a shaker window. And I know shakers aren't for everyone, but just hear me out. Just hear me out. The container for the gems, I don't know what they're called. I did a live with them. Brienne, would you be able to, maybe Brienne could find it? Hold on. I'm hoping Brienne can find what these are. I did a whole video, thank you. I did a whole video on these, and yeah, I switched to this process. Oh, here we go. I will add it to the supply list. Hold on, I'm gonna add those bottles in the chart. Those bottles, I think these are them. I'm sorry, okay, I just put it in the chat, sorry. I put this container in the chat. Okay, all right. Sorry, I need a LaCroix so I don't cough at you. Can you hear my stomach growl? I can. All right, next up, we're gonna do a shaker window. Bear with me. All you non-shaker people who are wanting to check out, bear with me. This will be fun. It'll be different. And I'm going to use different images this time. We're going to use some lemons. And what color cardstock is that? Because somebody will ask. It's Altenew Peachy Glow, I think it's called. It's called Peachy Glow, but it is kind of like a light lemony color. Okay, so off screen I did some prep. I cut the window at the center of a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch panel, and the window at the front of my note card in the same spot, using the method I did before at the beginning of the video. Then I also, well, I'll get to this in a moment. So that's the start of my card. Let's do our images. We're gonna need for this one a frame and a frame. Let me think. Oh dear. Hold please, I'm thinking. Yes, 2 frames. Okay, so I have stamped my images already, sorry. I have these lemon images in 2 frames. One of them I cut out, one of them I haven't. This lemon image is from the, here it is. This is the Sunlit table. Now this one is worth looking at on the website because it has so much to offer. I have to find my stamp set though. Ow. Hold on, I'm a-looking. Where'd I put it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is Citrus Still Life. It has these kind of citrus images, which you can see stamped here, and lots of great sentiments. Wishing you a bright and happy day. Thank you for adding so much sunshine to my days. So on. I mean, there's a lot here. Then there is, so you got these little images, right? Then there is the Sunlit, that's Citrus Still Life. Then there is the Sunlit table. This is a stamp that you can do for your background and set whatever you want on this like table, all right, on this background. So you can put these little images. So you can create a scene like that. So see, this is the background stamp that does the windows and all that. There are stencils to color that. So you can make a background scene, and you can put anything on that table. You could put a little birthday cake image if you wanted to. But what they have are these individual images to create a little table, which I think is great. Okay, so this is the Citrus Still Life and the Sunlit table. Mike, can you make sure those are in the supply list? Now, I'm not doing this background. It's fantastic, and there are a lot of examples over on the website. I'm using the Citrus Still Life. There is the stamp set, and there is also a press plate set, which is somewhere around here. Okay, so that's Citrus Still Life. I think there's, yeah, and I don't know where my dies went. Oh, here it is, this big die, I need that. Okay, so I keep all that, because they go well together, I keep it all in a pocket together. All right, so we've got these. There are stencils to color the images or stencils to color that background. I'm just doing the images. Got to organize myself here. So this is going to be yellows and greens because I'm doing the lemony. I wanted a bright, happy look. I think I'm only going to do this image and maybe this one. We'll see. Maybe just this one. I'm thinking I'm going to do this Sending You Sunshine right across it. Okay, so I'm just going to do this one. Now you could save time and do them all at once, but I don't want, or you could color them all at once so you get lots of images, but I think I'm just going to use the one. So I'll just save time by not inking them all. All right, so I will start with that Lemon Whip, which I said is a really nice light yellow. And I'll do that over all of these lemons here. You could make them more green if you want. And then you can do the others. I think I'm just going to do this one. I don't want to take the time to color them all. So that is Lemon Whip. Then I want to come in with Sweet Mustard and add a little interest to it. That's a darker yellow. I may even want to go darker than that. There we go. And we can do some of that on here too. Okay, so that's the first stencil. This one doesn't have anything for this one. Now we have, this adds like a little bit onto the glass base or whatever. What color do I want to do that? See their example. They did light blues. Blue would be nice, I think. Yeah, I think I'll do blues. So I'm going to do really light blue. I'll do Waterfall because that's my favorite. It's like a turquoisey blue. And I'll just do a little bit on here. Like a medium application of that. That's my favorite. One of my favorite colors of all time. Then I'm doing these all out of order because I'm trying to hurry, but you can make more sense of it by looking at the packaging. Okay, so now I did a little bit of blue to that. Oh, that's pretty. Then the leaves. Look at that. So pretty. So pretty. Okay. Mike, what questions are there while I do this? Do you see any?
What plastic storage pockets do you use for your stamps and dies?
So for regular stamps and dies, I will use, Simon Says stamp pockets. There's different sizes available, and I just pick what size best fits whatever I have. If it's a collection, like you just saw me do like a big bundle, like where there's a lot of products that go together, I use Altenew pockets for that because they have big, like, they're bigger and they have a little flap that closes it up, and it's will hold a bunch of things. They're nice and strong. I think I'll come in with olive this time for the darker. There's probably some, see there's some Emerald City on there. I just go like this under a dry cloth to get most of that bluish green ink off, and now I can switch to the next color. Yeah, look at that. So this is olive. So some of the leaves will be darker than others. You could do more interest to that, but so pretty. So, so pretty. I forgot to do this stem though. I don't know why. Okay. There's even a little tray of olives here. This makes me want to go to Italy. Okay. So there we have, oh, don't do that. There we go. There we have this image here that I want to use. Throw those out of the way. And then, again, you could have stenciled them all, but I don't need them all, so I'm trying to save some time. All right, I'm lining up. And this will cut them all out. But again, I only need this big one. We will have to color the frames, but I'm not really sure what color until it's all cut out. So I will do that next. I might just do yellows. Oh, you're going to Italy soon for your honeymoon. Congratulations. I'm going to Italy in 2 weeks with some fellow crafters. I don't know if any of them are here today. I think they might be. I agree. Pinkfresh has some of my, it is one of my favorite lines. Look how pretty that is. And it looks nice with this what was it called? Peachy Glow from Altenew. Now, this was the shaker. Okay. All right, so now that's gonna go on the inside. We'll get there. We're gonna create a shaker window on the front. Now I prepped a lot to be ready for this one. So I have the window on the front. I'm gonna put adhesive around it. and lay a piece of acetate onto it. Again, I'm using the Pinkfresh acetate. It's heat resistant, so it makes it super easy. I don't want to keep 14 different acetates around, and so by just having heat resistant, I know it'll work for everything. But you can use packaging here if you want to. All right. So I put one down. Now, what I have here is I use the bigger of the frame dies, and I cut it out of 6 pieces of cardstock, and I glued them together. So this is nice and thick. This will be the walls of my shaker window. If you didn't want to do it this way, by layering up a bunch of layers, you could also just put foam tape around it. Okay, I wanted nice, strong dimension. So these are cut to be probably about 4 by 5 1/4, and I did 6 of them glued together, maybe 5 or 6. So it's nice and thick. And I used the bigger window die because it'll be more forgiving lining it all up. I could have used the smaller, doesn't really matter. So now, these are the walls of my shaker window. I could have, again, used foam tape around it, but this will be nice and secure. So now, there's acetate back here. I have my shaker well here. And we need to fill it. You could use a few different things here. I'm going to use, if I can find them, I'm going to use tiny diamonds. These are from Honeybee. They're super tiny and they're clear but a little iridescent shine to it, and they're great in shaker windows. I don't want to add anything here with color because I don't want to distract. The image is going to be behind it. The image will be in here, so I don't want something that covers it up too much. So I put those in there. Now, put adhesive on top of my stacked die cuts, and I'll line this up on top. And line it with that inside window. Oh, no, yeah, no. I need my acetate. Dirt. So I'm going to get another piece of acetate. So this is going to be, it requires 2 pieces of acetate, one on the back side of the window and one on the front side. So put that on, so that closes up my shaker. Okay, now I'll glue this on top. We're starting in Venice. We're going to, it's a cruise. So we're starting in Venice. We're going to Croatia, Amalfi Coast, Montenegro? I don't remember. And then we end in Rome. I don't know. I just go. There we go. Lila's going too. So now look at that. It's a window, shaker window. When it stands up, they'll all fall to the bottom, but that sound you'll see right away, or hear right away when you shake it. Now this is going to go inside here, but I didn't add any interest to this. I should have. I should have done a press plate. Dang it. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Hold on. I'm going to use that same wreath press plate. It's like a tornado. Like a tornado. There's junk everywhere. All right. But that's what we're all used to. So I'm going to put this right in the center, because my window on this one is in the center. I used the T-ruler to make sure it was. Then this I'll put right into the center of that. And I'm going to use lemon whip on this. It'll be very subtle. But subtle's good. Tone on tone-ish. Just kind of tap and twist a little bit. I probably got ink all over the background here, but that's okay. Let's see how we did. I'll put this on here, run it through my die cut machine to give it pressure. If you don't have press plates, you could use an embossing folder here or a stamp. Lots of things you could do. Let's see how it looks. Ah, yeah, look at that. See it? So it's yellow. Ooh, come on. See that? Isn't that pretty? Let's see. Yeah, think I'm gonna go with that. There we go. I'll put more adhesive on the back here since I messed with it. And now, sorry, big old head. Put that down like that. And then we need a frame. So I'm gonna do 2 frames. I think I'll do these 2. I'll be able to find my frame die though. Yeah, I got it right here. Okay, so I'll do 1 for the front and 1 for the inside. And I think I'm gonna go with yellows. I got a little ink smudge here. So I'll use my paper sander to get that little bit of smudgy. There we go. No one will ever see it. Let's do, greens might be pretty. Blues could be really pretty. But I think I'm gonna go with yellow again. I'm gonna do all yellows on the frame. I think, let's see what it'll look like. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with yellows. So, I have my 2 frames, stencils. So these stencils are from that, or these frames are from that first set, the Blossom Medallion. I'm gonna do this one over here, and I'll do the opposite. Might as well line them up. Okay, so I will do Lemon Whip first. And I think I'll do the same over all of the stencil. So I'm using my Big Mama magic brushes. And this will allow me to get ink down pretty quickly. Oh, so pretty. I love these Big Mama brushes because you can control how much ink you put down. So putting Lemon Whip over all of it. Then I think I'll come in with a little bit of that darker sweet mustard. Just kind of at the base of those openings. It'll be very subtle. Yeah, my mat is newer. I've been using it the past couple weeks, I think. So it hasn't gotten inky yet, but it will. And that just means it's a well-loved mat. They will always get inky. If you're using good quality inks, they will always get inky. And then let's put some on here, and then I'll swap. So I could do multicolored frames, but this time I wanted it all yellow. I want this to be a bright, happy card. Put that one there. Come on, baby. So let's see, there's, oh, I'm supposed to be doing Lemon Whip. Doesn't matter. There we go. And then some of the heavier. Are there questions, Mike? Try to think of what the other ones were that I have. I don't even remember what else I have prepped.
How do you store your sticky mat?
Some people put their sticky mat, when they aren't using the sticky mat, some people put them in a like a zipper pouch. I have a drawer with brushes in it, and I just lay it on top of it. Because every time I'm using my brushes, I'm really using a sticky mat too. So it just lays right on top of my brushes. I don't know that that's... Another thing you can do is just stick it inside of a cabinet door. And then you can get it whenever you need it. Okay, so this one will go on the front like that. Oh, that's pretty, but it needs some dimension. I always need dimension. So I'll put, these are just extras I cut from scrap cardstock or inexpensive cardstock. You could do foam tape if you wanted to. I just did 2. And then put my inked one on top. That. And then this gets glued right on the front. So anytime you make a shaker, you could, instead of just making it a shaker with glass on the front of it, or see-through on the front and solid cardstock on the back, you could do the see-through on both sides, so it's a window. All right. Now, For the inside, I'm just going to cut out with the outside frame die like this. You prefer black ink when stamping, and what is my preferred black ink when stamping? Okay, let me read it. I think I read it wrong.
Sounds good.
Do you preferred black ink, your preferred black ink when stamping and going to do ink blending over it? I use a variety. You can use the Pinkfresh Detail Black. You could use Gina K Amalgam Black ink. You can use Altenew Obsidian Black ink. No matter what black you use, heat set it. Heat set it before you blend, and then you don't have to worry about it. Now this is going to go on the inside. So I'm going to put some liquid adhesive on the back of it, and I'm going to kind of try to center it up the best I can, like that. Make sure I don't see through. Yeah, that's pretty good. So that will go there, and this is going to get glued right onto it. So it'll show through, like, there we go. There, look at that. I don't think I used enough glue on my frame. So you can see, you can hear it too. Isn't that cute? And that just makes it special because you see through to the image on the inside. You can write your sentiment or your message around it. I was going to use Sending You Sunshine. I could have it off kilter like that. Maybe that's good. Sending You Sunshine. This is from a set I've been wanting to use. I was going to try to design one today with it. It's an older set. It's called Coastal Paradise. It's just really good, and there's a lot of great examples on the website with this. It's just like these little beach houses and, you know, like lawn chair and umbrella and palm trees. And there are press plates, there's stamps, and there's dies, and then there's stencils. And the stencils color in those images, but also the stencils create a sun and water background, which you could use with anything, right? So you can use those with anything, but you can put these little houses on it. So I had thought about putting some houses in here, but anyway, the sentiment that I'm using here that says, Sending You Sunshine, is from this Coastal Paradise. But keep in mind, there are a lot of great, this way real quick. There are a lot of great sentiments in the actual Citrus Still Life set that would work. Like a little note of sunshine would look nice. Sending Bright Thoughts would look nice, but I think that looks good right there. I usually like to put it right in the middle. In fact, oh, that's going to make everybody mad. Excuse me. I don't know. I kind of like it right there in the middle. No, I'm going to go there. That won't make as many people upset. So I'll just put a little glue right here. My sentiment right there. Like that. Yeah. Maybe a little more over. See, this is where Jennifer goes berserk.
What's the strangest place you found a lost die or stamp?
Where's the strangest place I found a lost die or stamp? One time I was in Pilates and found a little stamp stuck to my pants. That was embarrassing. Thankfully it was a private lesson, so she's like, what is that stuck to your pants? Okay, so can you see that sparkly in there? Isn't that fun? Lots of depth to it. And I think I'll probably finish it off with some little iridescent little bits. I don't know, I'll just grab some here. You know what, I have some yellow ones. Maybe I'll use yellow. Yeah, these are from Trinity Stamps, I think. But really you can use anything here. These are like a light yellow. But I feel like it just gives it a finished look. Oop, these are all stuck together. I don't know why. So there. There. Just for a little bit of shine. There. And boop. There we go. Ah, makes me happy. You like the second the best? Yeah, there's a lot of options here. A lot of things you can do. So, what we have so far with our 3 cards, I think I might be able to do one more. What was one of these? Oh, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so far we've done 3. This one has the see-through window all the way through. This one has the window on the front, and this image pops up. See how it stands up? It looks like it's floating outside of the frame. And then this one, the window is a shaker window. So, and you see the image on the inside. I probably will go ahead on this one. No, I think it's good. I would just write my personal sentiment around it. Yeah, the lemons are nice. I think it goes well with the sending sunshine sentiment. But that lemon, the Crest, what was that one called? Oh gosh. The Lemon Blossom Crest, that's this image that I use the press plate. I think it looks like really nice in the background. But it'd be beautiful on its own too. So there we go. Those are 3. I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do one more. If I can make it work. Yeah, let's try this. And I can use a leftover image from before. Okay, so this one is going to be a pop-up window. And you got to bear with me because we're going to see if it works. Waterfall ink. Wait, no. Yeah, waterfall cardstock. That's waterfall cardstock from Spellbinders. It's a perfect match to the waterfall ink from Pinkfresh. All right, so this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. I cut the inside frame towards the top center on that, and at the top center on the front of my 4 1/2 by 5 3/4 inch card. Okay, just like I've done many times. So that'll be right on the front center. Now, we're going to try to do a little pop-up little doozy here. I think I'll go back to this press plate. The one I used at the beginning. So let me find my magnet. I use my magnet to pick up my press plates and also to pick up my hot foil plates. So I'll put this piece right there. Who's here? Okay. I know somebody's here because I got a ring system, like really complicated ring system put in yesterday, and my phone is just bzz, constantly. I gotta change the settings. All right, so I have that, I think it's the cherry blossom. Was that what that's called? No, it's called the, not even close, Sunlit Garden press plate. And it's cleanish. I put a little bit of adhesive on the back of this window piece. Line it up too. And I will use waterfall ink, so this will give me tone on tone. So this will be a little bit darker than my other ones, but that's okay. So you can see the variety. So I'm just kind of inking up that press plate. Press plates are very forgiving and give great detail. I'll put this on top, run it through my die cut machine, which presses it in, leaves an impression, and leaves that ink behind. You could just use a background stamp here too. Oh, ha, ha. Look how crisp that is, and it's got the impression on it. I love it. I love it. I love it. See? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, that's why I like press plates, because stamps are not that good. I mean, stamps don't give as impressive of a crisp image. So there we have that. What was this one? The pop-up. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down. We're not using any acetate on this version. We're gonna have a pop-up panel on the inside. So I'm gonna glue that down there. All right, oh, that's beautiful. Love it. And you know what? I've got these images here. And before I said, I'm gonna save these silver heat embossed images for later. Now I gotta find them. Dang it. Where'd I put them, Mike? Is that it? Nope, that's black. I know I saved them. I found them, yay. I think I'll use this time this image. Yeah, I'll use that one. So let me get out my grip mat. I really like this grip mat because it stays on my desk, but it's easy to take off. Yeah, waterfall is beautiful. So for this, I gotta find my stencils again. Dang it. Here she goes. I'm a mess, what can I say? I think there's one missing. Oh, here it is. Let's hope that's it. Okay, so I think I'll make all my flowers. Should I make them all peach? I think I'm gonna make them blue. I'm going with all, no, yellow would be, no, I'm gonna make my flowers blue. In the make-believe land of waterfall ink. Okay, there we go. Ah, such a pretty color. So there's waterfall, but then I think I'll come in with a darker color. This is Paradise. This is going to be louder, much darker. So I got to knock off some of that extra ink before I bring it over and kind of do like a blend out. Oh yeah, yeah. There we go. Pretty color. Okay. Look at that. Ooh, I love it. And then this one. And over this, I'll go heavy with the Paradise. There we go. Look at that. So pretty. Then we do the leaves. Mike, are there questions while I'm ignoring everything? Oh, waterfall is so pretty. Key lime and evergreen. I'll do key lime for my leaves. What questions you got? Oh, have you used a regular cover plate in the Better Press? I think I might have, but you gotta be super careful. I might have done that in a video. Here's the thing. If you use anything besides a press plate in your Better Press, you're avoiding the warranty or whatever, because you could put too much pressure. So I don't know. I haven't done a whole lot with that yet, but yeah, you can. I know you can, but I don't remember if I changed the sandwich for anything. So I'm not much help with that question. Sorry. I don't want to say it wrong and you try. Beautiful. Now the details, and that's it for this image. Evergreen. There we go. Beautiful. And then there's stencils for the center, but I'm gonna do gems later. All right, now let me think what else I need to do. I need to do these two frames. Are Pinkfresh inks the same as Gina K and Tailored Expression? Absolutely. Yeah, most inks are the same size. There are a few that are different, like Alta News are round, but most are that same size. Yes, Pinkfresh are the same. size pads as Gina K, Concord and Ninth, Hero Arts, all those. The bead tray, that little bead that I poured my sequins out into, that is from Cat Scrappiness. So let's see, I'll do the blues for the frame. Okay, almost done with this. I will do Waterfall. I'm just going to do the whole frame blue. I'm not going to do multiple colors of inks. So there's Waterfall over that. And then do Waterfall over this. So one frame will go on the inside, one will go on the outside. But I do want to add a little bit of interest. Mike, what's the next question?
Do you know if Pinkfresh has opened registrations for the August event yet? I don't know if Pinkfresh has answered that.
I don't think so. I don't think Pinkfresh has opened registration for the August event. She usually would mention it to me, and she hasn't, so I doubt it's open yet. What else you got? Hit me with some more questions.
Looking.
Just kind of moving the excess ink around on here. Okay.
Oh, I didn't read one of these last.
Could you use masks for all those smaller images on top of the cute little table and make one layer card? You absolutely could. For the Sunlit table or whatever it was, absolutely could. Be pretty. I love these magic brushes. They make blending so easy to do. I think I'm not even going to add the darker on that. I'll just leave it light.
Someone asked about the difference between cover plate and press plate.
A cover plate you use with your die cut machine like you would a normal die, and it either cuts tiny little holes or makes like faux stitching or pierced dots. I'll show you cover plate here in a second. But it actually does cutting. So Pinkfresh has my favorite cover plates. This is a cover plate. So it's like a die. So it cuts all those little stitch marks and actually cuts those little stars out. I love them. I love them. Yes, press plates do not cut. They just make an impression only. Okay, so there we go. Almost done here. Almost done. Maybe, maybe not. I'll probably skip a sentiment on this one because I have to leave soon. I might go, when's the next live? It's probably, let's be honest, probably Thursday. Probably go Thursday, and maybe that's the Japanese stuff. Or maybe, Mike, am I allowed to see the stuff you got from Japan before I go live?
No.
Because I want to plan what I'm going to make. I don't want to waste their time. I think it'll go well with what I had planned.
I'll think about it.
Yes, no, you
Some
gotta
of
let
it.
me. If you let me, then I'll go live Thursday.
Okay.
Okay, Thursday.
You have my permission.
Oh, so kind of Mike. Okay, so I'm laying that down. So this frame is just stacked for dimension, and it just shows through the inside. But we're gonna step that up here. Let me lay that down. Got ink all over me. Where's my magnet? Big magnet. There we go. Okay, now this guy I want to pop up on the inside of my card. So let me get this. Here we go. I have a piece of cardstock here that is 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches. All right, 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches. I'm gonna put a mint in my mouth. Sorry if you hear the chomping, but my throat is tickling, so I need something in there. Okay, 3 inches, and this can be bigger or smaller. I did 3/4 inches, but 3 inches long. I'm going to do a score line at 1/2 inch, then a score line at 1.5 inches, then at 2 inches. So I did 1/2 inch, 1.5, and 2. And we'll end up with, is that right? Yep, that's right. What looks kind of like a rectangle when you fold it up. Okay. I know you'd rather be, but maybe you'll show me some of it. How about that? If I could see the papers ahead of time, I know he brought papers, right?
Yeah.
If I could see those ahead of time, so, oh man, that would help, because then I can prep some things so you guys get to see more. I don't want you just to look at pretty stuff. I want you to see some fun things. My brother went to Japan with my mom. I was unable to go on the trip. I didn't want to leave Lila that long. And they brought back a bunch of stuff from stationery stores. And my brother showed a lot of that in my Facebook group, so people were interested about it. Okay. And for those of you who don't know, Mike is my brother, the one who does my lives. Okay, so here's my fold up. Now along these 2 flaps, this big one and this little one, the 2 end flaps, I'm going to put strong liquid adhesive on those flaps. And then I'm just going to fold this in half. So there's liquid adhesive here and here. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it right into the seam. So the open end goes into the seam. Just have it folded closed. And I try to do that centered along the frame here. Okay, so it pops up. I need to put more glue down and hold it for a second. It'll pop up when you open it. I've done this many, many times. No, it'll be fine. It's gonna work, I think. Okay, yeah, Japan's got so much good stuff. So see how it pops up when you open it? Now, I want this to be on there to pop up, okay? There's a little bit of stickiness on here. So what I'll do is just on this back little bit here, right here, just right there, I put strong liquid adhesive. And I will lay it down so that it gets stuck to that little pop-up platform. And it lines up behind, the frame lines up with the frame on the front. Okay, so when it's closed, you don't see it. But when you open it, it comes up. See it move? Let me just hold that for a moment. And while I hold it, there we go. All right, let me put a magnet on that. While that's there, I can glue this onto that. I could have done this in a few different ways, but this I think will work just fine. Like that. Yeah, you never know where I'm going, Pam. We never know. So now see that it pops up. See how it moves? The inside moves. It's lined up, looks normal, flat, but when you open it, see how that moves up here? And you write your personal message down there. So it's just that one folded mechanism in there that allowed it to pop up. All right, now, sentiment. I don't have any sentiments ready. I've got some black ones I created, but I think silver would be prettier. I need some little guys at the center. Ooh. Oh, hold on. I think I'm going to do pearls at the center. I think pearls will look nice on this. So it looks just like a window card, right? But we gave it some oomph. So my friend Jeff always uses the expression good to great, like doing little things to make a card go from good to more of like a wow, or different than store-bought, whatever you want to call it. That little pop-up mechanism just kind of added more interest to this, to take it from good to great. All right. I want a bigger one. This is where I overthink. By the way, I have giveaways. I have two good giveaways. I'll show you in a moment. In the meantime, while I finish this off, if you haven't left a comment in the chat, do so now, because Mike will pick the winners from the people in the chat. Oops. Yeah, you can use a circle for this. You could use any shape window that you want. All right. I recently got it, guys. There we go. Okay. And the sentiment. I mean, you have choices. Ooh, I kind of like it there. Although I want it silver heat embossed. So it's suspended like across the window. And when you open it up, you don't see it. Could also be right there. But I think I like it like that. But I want it silver heat embossed, and I'm not going to take the time to do that right now. This sentiment is from a set called Room for Joy. Hold on. Room for Joy. Where is that stamp set? I want to show it to you so you can see. It's this one. You can see it's very well loved in my world. And I use the "You always find a way to amaze me." Yeah, I like that kind of suspended there, like that, right there. Yeah. So I'll just put adhesive on the ends of that sentiment. Strong adhesive. I'm using Gina K Connect liquid adhesive because I trust it. I don't want it to fail me because I didn't use a lot of it. That's good, like that. I will come back and probably silver heat emboss. I don't know, maybe I won't. Isn't that neat? You could add a little stamp sentiment there if you wanted to also. Let me show you all the interest. Isn't that fun? Oh my goodness, that's fun. I love it. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, because I'm going to have to go. We have to leave soon. I'm going to tell you what my final one was, because you can kind of get an idea from it. What you can do also is, say you have a frame window on the front of your card. You can have an image suspended across it. So you don't even need acetate in there. So I was going to do this floral image suspended across. So it'd be open there. And then I'd put this sentiment right across it. So you would be able to see behind it. Then on the inside, I'd have a frame with a smaller sentiment that would be hidden by all the stuff that would be suspended across it. Not hard to do. This image is from the, I might try to finish it and take pictures when I put all these up. So I'm getting back to doing that. This is the Cardinal Kiss. It creates this beautiful image, and I'm going to make it rainbow. So I was going to do like pinks to oranges to yellows going up. All right. It's Cardinal Kiss. So that's just another one, but it's pretty simple kind of window. Mike, do you have winners picked out? I need two. Let me show what the giveaways are while you pick. One giveaway, one person will get these two sets of brushes. These are the new Pinkfresh brushes that I used today that I'm really liking. They have a lot of control to them, and they're that nice bristle. That's the same as their big ones that I love so much. So there's 6 in each. So one lucky winner will get that, and the other lucky winner will get Good Times. There's a press plate, there's a stamp set, and there are stencils. All right, so that's a Good Times little bundle. And there are the 4 cards we made. So Mike, what do you have? 2 winners?
Yes. Yes. The first one with the brushes.
Yep.
Linda Bergen.
Linda Bergen.
Bergan.
Linda, you are the winner of the brushes. And then the little bundle here goes to
Maureen Van Dusky.
Maureen Van Dusky.
I will put
I'm gonna
both
give these
of
to
those
Mike.
in here.
And remember, under special offers in the YouTube description are all the ways to save right now at Pinkfresh. You can get a free stencil set with any order. And with my code, you get an additional 10% off the inks and refills, which are already 25% off. And if you look at the clearance section, everything there is marked 50 to 75% off. And with my code, you get another 25% off. All that information's in the YouTube description below. I think that's it. I gotta go escape room, break out of jail. That was fun. So 4 different ways to kind of step up your windows or your, window cards, I guess. All right, I think that's all. That's all I'm seeing. Okay. Anything else, Mike?
I pinned, look at the pinned messages for their name, the @ names of the winners. So I always do that.
Mike pinned the winners' names so you can easily find it. And if you're one of the winners, just go to my website under Contact Me and send me your address, and we'll get that sent out to you along with the handmade card. I will be going live next, as long as life permits, on Thursday. All right, and so hopefully in that one we can look at some of the Japan stuff, and I'm going to make a really unique type of card. I'm very excited about it. It's one I've wanted to do for a while now. All right, that's it. Thank you all for being here, and sorry for the changing of everything. I will do the Japanese stuff on Thursday. All right, thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.